What's up, guys? I was gonna say my nuggets there for a second. Oh god, I'm so used to it. So anyway, yeah, what's up, guys? My name's Astro, and this is episode 2, episode dos of the Juggernaut with Every Gun show. And as would be expected with any episode 2 of a Juggernaut with Every Gun show, I am using the M16. And this particular M16 is actually a bit different than every other M16 I've ever seen. This M16, I actually found it in my local newspaper. It was advertised as M16 needs new home. Special M16 needs new home. And I went to check it out, and I was expecting, you know, a regular M16, but that wasn't the case. Actually, I found this one, which, as you can tell, it has a sensitive area. I prefer not to talk about it, and actually I will talk about it, I guess. You guys need to know this, because if you ever encounter an M16 or any other gun like this, you should be pretty nice to it. You should take care of it. You shouldn't acknowledge its special sensitive area, because that's just rude. So anyway, when I found this gun, I thought, oh look, an M16, it's a normal M16, but then it flipped it around and I saw this tumor, this incredible tumor just outside of the gun. It wasn't even an inside tumor that you could easily hide. I guess those wouldn't be easily hidden. But anyway, yeah, it had a tumor. It had an external tumor. I don't know if there's any internal tumors. Yeah, there probably is. So anyway, had an external tumor, and I named it Holly. That's what I named the tumor, because the tumor it's actually pretty helpful when I'm using this gun, because it's Holly, the holographic sights, and it was great. I've grown used to it. Actually, no, I haven't grown used to it. It still kind of freaks me out when I see it, but yeah, I've sort of put it in the back of my mind, but at the same time, every time I see it, I'm like, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm using this thing with the holographic sight, and I just got a Predator missile, which is one of my kill streaks. The other kill streaks are obviously the Juggernaut, and before that is the attack helicopter. So anyway, yeah, my perks that I'm using are Scavenger, Assassin, and Dead Silence. So Scavenger is making this challenge a bit harder than I think it would have been before, because in my opinion, using Scavenger as opposed to any other perk would be a bit harder, because you're actually forced to use the gun for the entire gameplay. And I've noticed that Bone Star for Hire, the guy that, you know, came up with the idea for the series, hasn't been using Scavenger. He's been using some other perk, and he runs out of ammo, and when he runs out of ammo, he switches to another gun. And in my opinion, that is, I don't know how to say this, that's kind of weird. It's not weird at all, but it's kind of cheating, and there's a fake plant in my way. So anyway, yeah, it's kind of cheating, because, at least in my opinion, it is, because once you run out of ammo, even if you have a crappy gun like this M16, if I would have run out of ammo, I would have just picked up something way better than an M16 and gone along with the rest of my gameplay. So that's just my 2 cents. Actually, I don't have 2 cents, I'm poor. Yeah, funny story. I spent it on detergent, because if you guys didn't know, I smell detergent all the time. That's kind of what I do. I just go around and, you know, kind of sniff it and snort it whenever I can. And today I was doing that, and I saw a package of detergent that said Mountain Breeze. So, you know, instinctively I went and sniffed it, and it didn't smell like Mountain Breeze until I actually thought about it carefully and dumped all the detergent on the floor, and it made a mountain of, you know, detergent. So I went and smelled that, and coincidentally it smelled like a mountain breeze. A mountain breeze. So that's what it smelled like. I actually don't know what a mountain is. I've never seen a mountain. Where I live, the closest thing to a mountain is probably a mountain of trash, a landfill. That's what they officially call it, but it's just a mountain of trash. So that's my expertise on mountains. Don't quote me on anything I say regarding mountains. Like, mountains have hill people and hillbillies and mountain people, I guess. Mountain billies, billy goats. I think that's what mountains have. That's what I saw on the Discovery Channel anyway. So, yeah, finally, I have my try-hard goggles on. otherwise known as the Juggernaut, or the big fluffy not marshmallow, because it's obviously not a marshmallow, because marshmallows have, I already went over this, didn't I? So, yeah. Anyway, this is nearing the end of the gameplay, I think, and walking slowly to all four corners of the world with my big gigantic gun. Yeah, so that's the story about mountains. I'm actually proud of my accomplishment of determining what mountain breezes smell like. If you didn't know, they do smell like a mountain of detergent. And actually, it might depend on the kind of mountain you have near you. Maybe it's a mountain of trash like me, so a mountain breeze would smell awful, and I wouldn't suggest smelling that. Actually, I would, because you would want that experience. Maybe when you're applying for a job, they ask you what kind of smell does a mountain breeze have, and you'll be able to list endless amounts of possibilities because you have the experience of smelling mountain breezes, even though they're not mountain breezes, because they could just be a mountain of trash, or a mountain of fake plants, or a mountain of dumpsters, or whatever it is. And final kill cam time, epic. Yeah, so that's the end of this gameplay. Thanks for watching, guys. Please check out my channel, and look forward to some next videos, actually the next episode sometime in the near future. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.